I'm not trying to like disparage therapy. Like I think it's a good tool and an avenue people should use if they need it. I'm just saying for me personally, for who I am as an individual, it just hasn't really done much for me.
Nah, he's saying
There's-
get the fuck over
Yeah.
it.
I've been
Get the fuck over it. That's
You've
what
been
he's saying.
2 times. I like
That's important. I think that's good.
yeah, like
Checking on
right now,
people.
if you had to rate the how fast is the little man running right now in your heart?
No, here's the thing. Here's the
Did
thing.
you just call him a little man? I'm
In-
sorry, I mean.
In terms of like
He's so
needing to
big.
share with people where I'm at, like mentally,
Mhm.
I don't do that shit at all. That shit is stupid as fuck.
Okay, wait. Can I say something
And
controversial?
here's why, but here's how I deal with it. It's fucked up in its own right. Is I just like deal with it internally, like head on, and nobody knows about it, and that's just like what makes me who I am.
He gambles. He gambles
I
like
gamble. I play Pokemon TCG Pocket. I work hard on my job. I do stand up, and yeah.
No,
You
he's
are
right.
allowed to have feelings.
No, but
Your
they're
feelings are valid.
gay. Super gay.
That's okay. Be gay. Be gay.
Yo, as someone that did free therapy, I can tell you right now, shit, maybe this is too controversial.
Yeah, you
No.
did free therapy. That's why you don't know.
Well, let me just
No, he was the
tell you-
therapist.
I was a therapist.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, number one, people have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And I didn't anticipate that. But I didn't anticipate the level of just
I
stuff that doesn't make the cut. Doesn't make the cut, okay? But on the flip side, my brother says what he's saying right now, which is therapy is basically bullshit, right?
I think it is bullshit. Because I've been
And I want to just
Twice.
debate this, right? Because I talked to him about it, and I was moving towards that side a little more too, only because there's a saying that the worst person you know is somewhere out there being validated by a therapist, okay? And it's very fucking true when you see it in real life. Because look, here, I'll lay this out for you, okay? Giving free therapy is one thing, and hearing people's problems is one thing. But just like pharmaceutical companies, what does a therapist need? A recurring client, if you think of it from a business standpoint, right? So if they know your answers immediately, I've even gone to therapy before, right? Just that's how I got into that thing. And her main thing was, I know the answers to all your problems right now, but we have to work through this to get to them. Just give me the answers right now. That's what I'm fucking paying you for. Right? But
how it works.
No, they need you to go to 10 seconds.
well,
so you can spend
listen,
more
listen.
money.
I'll just conclude on that. I'm not saying it's complete bullshit, but I'm saying there are definitely a high number of therapists who need to make a living, and their way of making a living is by keeping you on the hook.
Yeah.
I also will say this, like from a cultural perspective, like, you know what I mean? My mom came here with her family and like nothing. And they left Iran where people were like throwing stones at them in the fucking street. So
Yeah.
they came to a new country, had no one else to talk to, right? And they just grinded, went through college, like graduated age 16, like they were working by the time they were fucking 18 years old, like just heads down.
Yeah,
No
I come
feelings.
from the same
Like that's
background.
just like, you know
no
what I mean?
feeling.
You guys, are you looking to talk about this, or are you just looking?
Wait,
to
I want to say one last thing, and then I'll let you go, Sammy.
Okay.
So I come from the same background, and I'll say like, okay, there's like a middle ground to it where like some self-reflection is good, but I do think if all you do is reflect on your problems, they just grow bigger.
But what I think is if you can learn to reflect on them
I
on
can't talk around this much.
I'll say one last thing. Sorry.
We're both brown.
Because I just have to finish this thought because it's important, I think, to this point where it's like if you can learn to have those conversations with yourself and overcome them by yourself, like you'll acquire the skills and strength necessary to be that much better of a human being. You know what I'm saying? Versus like seeing them externally. You know what I mean? I think if you're
Release the
honest with
beast.
yourself and looked in the mirror and said what you have to say to yourself and just continue to push yourself and dig deeper, like it's going to be tough, but you'll get to a point, I think, for me at least, that's better than going to therapy.
Therapize.
Or at least for me.
Okay,
Hey,
so
therapize them.
let me.
Get 'em.
No, it's okay.
Release the beast.
There's no beast. I really want to calmly unravel this thought because my head is going in a lot of different places. I think it's a human need to feel safe, like in our body and in our environment and our surroundings. And whatever tool it takes to access that is incredible. And sometimes people need extra support to find that sense of balance within. And sometimes it looks like therapy. The goal of therapists is not to keep you. You can stop therapy learning the tools that you've learned to then go apply. Like if anyone could be a therapist, so that doesn't mean that the 2 times that you've gone or the few times that you've gone, like that they are doing the right match for you. So perhaps it's possible
That could be
that
true.
that person was not didn't match you.
I'm not trying to like disparage therapy. Like I think it's a good tool and an avenue people should use if they need it. I'm just saying for me personally, for who I am as an individual, it just hasn't really done much for me.
Nah, he's saying
There's-
get the fuck over
Yeah.
it.
I've been
Get the fuck over it. That's
You've
what
been
he's saying.
2 times.
Like
Like
you're translating.
and I don't like it's
No,
your
I've
life.
been-
Like you're free to make obviously decisions. But like it's just they're having somebody listen without judgment is such an important just it's like an important
Isn't it great?
experience to have. It's so important. And sometimes you can find that outside of a therapist office. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you need to like pair that with learning the tools to move through emotion. Like when you reflect on the past, it's less of like, oh my God, this happened like factually. Like for example, like if there was I don't know, if there was a situation where I was a kid and I felt unsafe, thinking about that experience over and over again isn't like necessarily holding on to the problem. It's looking at like what was I feeling in that moment? What decisions did I make that led me into this experience? How can I learn from that? Like instead of a why did this happen to me type of reflection, it's when I think about it from different angles. Like if you write a joke a year ago and you come back to it a year later, you might see it from like a different angle. You might see like the trauma or that bad experience from a different angle to then be able to say like, oh, this is how what I've learned from that. So moving forward, it doesn't continue that cycle.
Well, Sammy, what would you say to people that don't have the resources or luxury to go to therapy and learn those tools? Then?
It's not like you need therapy. It's that you need community, like a sense of feeling heard.
Yeah,
And then I hope that's what is so heartbreaking, that in a lot of environments, like that's not the privilege. Like it's crazy that it's even like a privilege that feeling safe is something that not everyone feels.
Okay, well let me let you think about this for a second. Okay, so during the free therapy stuff, there was a girl that came by. There were multiple people like this, but I remember her in particular and this other person. So this other person, his entire family had died over the past month.
Mhm.
Okay, and he's sitting in my chair on fucking 6th Street,
Mhm.
drunk as shit, telling me this, and I'm just a dude, right? I'm hearing all this. So
What credentials do you have?
nothing. I'm just a good listener, and I try to do the best I can.
How did you get? It's illegal for you to be doing what you're doing. What you're on 6th Street? What are you doing?
Well, listen. It was
Oh, this
Yeah.
isn't like this is something you did for YouTube.
yes.
It's not like an
And-
I thought you were a therapist.
No. But the thing is, I'm
you gonna
not a
snitch on him?
therapist. It's called free therapy because I'm not licensed. I put it on the poster, right?
Oh,
But
so-
regardless, we're moving away from the point. I really want to nail this. So
Of course, this doesn't make sense to you. You're not a licensed therapist.
I've also been to the actual therapy
How many times?
for like 6-7 months straight. Okay, well just hear it out.
Don't disparage this journey.
Jesus
Sam.
Christ.
No, I'm listening.
No, but it seems like you already have preconceived notions of like what you'll think. I want you just
I hear you.
know.
I apologize.
All right, so person A, family died in a month, okay? Full fucking family, dead. Second person comes, realizes that she wants to go viral, says her twin died. I get like 50 emails from my manager. Her twin is alive. She just wanted clout, and that whole situation was weird as fuck. But I want to focus on person A, right? That person can go to therapy for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. I don't personally believe that talk therapy or any of those versions where you're talking to someone would help them, maybe some somatic or whatever therapy. But at the end of the day, I think that might be something where, okay, you actually try to go to therapy and like learn some tools, but I don't think it would change anything. I think that's like just, what's up?
I feel like you don't really understand therapy to its core by the way you're describing it. Because you're describing it as someone that like sits there and it's just like Oh yeah, I guess.
Well,
so.
no, I do get it. I do get it. That's why
In
I'm
some
like,
sense, kind of. I mean, I got my bachelor's of science in psychology. I was in the mental health industry. Like, I've worked with.
I
These
guess I
people.
just
Like, they
my
are
only
just
point is I
people
don't
at
think
some
you
capacity.
can take certain things to therapy and
But
actually resolve.
What I think it is
Like,
also,
something like that is too crazy.
I agree with Sammy where it's a vessel, but I think it's a internal realization, and whether you do that through talk therapy or by yourself or through other methods like meditation, yoga, like we're all trying to. You have to learn, but it can be taught. It doesn't necessarily need to be, or it can be taught like this and build community and have people around.
Yes, but
you
also
love
there are
you.
professionals. You have there's a reason that there are professionals.
Listen, I understand. I studied psychology. I understand there's certain behavioral and mental tendencies that people
That's what
go
we're
through.
saying is that you understand because you have a professional background.
Yeah, I did study it, but it's also like we can teach each other. Like, it doesn't have to be a formalized thing. You know what I mean?
I think there's also different kinds of like styles of therapy, and it sounds like from your experience, it makes sense why.
I studied holistic health, so it was like mind, body, and behavioral medicine was the bachelor's degree I had to create at
Interesting.
UMass Amherst. So like
Dig
yoga, massage, like actual like fucking Ayurvedic medicine, like all sorts of like holistic health type stuff. And I really do think it's just like a state of being. Like, everyone feels some sort of shitty and is dealing with some sort of battle, and it's about there's so many different paths to go about overcoming and traversing your
Mhm.
demons to get you in a place of like nirvana and peace.
Hmm.
And I think that there's major like talk therapy is one, yoga is one, meditation's one.
Hmm.
I just want to say, these first date questions aren't so bad now, are they?
No, you've already said that.
I know, but I want to say it again.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. Hidden talent. Nice. That was like 20 minutes ago.